designed to develop, maybe test, and consider the viability of products which are new to the market, so that we can ensure a growth, or maybe expansion, could be horizontally, vertically, of any organization, right? So ultimately, to remain valid, remain relevant, and be in the competition, right? The business houses, they do, venture into such kind of a process, so that they can survive in the market. So that's the new product development kind of concept. So that today I'm going to discuss, right? So let me share my screen. So I hope this is visible, audible as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much. So that's what new product development. So yes, I'll be talking about the different phases of this new product development, right? So any startup, the would-be startup founder, right, or maybe existing startup founder, right? So this process applies to the existing one and new one as well, right? So can anybody tell me, just whatever random thoughts comes to your mind, why we need product development? Any idea? Yes, anybody?
I think for the company growth, I mean, I'm just assuming, and I'm just answer, or maybe just a strong competition.
Right, maybe there is competition. So
yes.
So okay. Next.
And maybe changing consumer behavior also.
Right, consumer behavior also, gives us that kind of a signal. Perfect. Any other? Any other student? Thank you, Neha. Any other student? Right. So that's what so there are different, options. There are different reasons why people venture into this development of new product, right? So yes, of course, the consumer behavior, and then as I told you, the consumer is the kingpin. So as per their either consumption behavior or maybe their marketing behavior, right? Their taste preference. So as per that, people think to venture into and then to try different products and services, right? So that's further it leads to kind of, or maybe the competition, right? So to maintain, to defeat rivals. So that could be probable very apt answer, so that we can that particular firm remain relevant and valid and then be in the competition. Yes, growth is also one of the aspect, right? To have a horizontal vertical scaling up of our entire business operations. So that is also one more important reason, right? Plus, there are, lot of technologies are, kind of coming up in a big way, and with that industrial 4.0, those high-end technologies we are now talking about. So this technologies also gives a lot of opportunities. So anything, either it could be a technological change or could be in any form of change, like the consumer test behavior preference that is changing. So that is also giving me the signal, and that's how basically in the case of idea generation also, I think we touch base all those aspects that led us to think about something innovative, creative, and then come up with some kind of a idea, right? And then besides that, when it comes to the competition, so of course the increasing, maintaining market share, that could be a kind of indicator to measure our performance in the market, right? Keep up with our rivals, right? And then maintain some kind of competitive advantage in our market, right? So those kind of high-end big brands, to maintain their status quo, to maintain their number one positions, right? So they continuously do R&D on different aspects, and then they come out with different products. So I think perfect. Yeah. So okay, let me share screen again. Okay, so before going to the process of new product development, let's look at now the overall the process of starting any startup. So maybe starts with identifying the gaps, right? So what is missing in our present ecosystem? So that's how that, I hope you must have now gone through that Outbridge ka case, Sanjeev ka case, right? So what is that thing which is kind of striking you, which is kind of telling you to search for some kind of alternatives if you really thinking to venture into this entrepreneurship domain, right? So you need to be focused, you need to have that kind of eye on the opportunities. So all those idea generation part I'm talking about, and then whatever idea comes in, you can just pen down all those idea and then think about some kind of a product, services, nothing but a development of any product prototype, on which basically now we are going to talk further in detail. So what is the process behind developing any kind of prototype? And then further it goes to show the prototype to 100 people, get some their kind of feedback, right? And iterate on the prototype until it makes sense. So these are the comes under the part of our product development process only. Once it is done, or could be the parallel activity in terms of, if I am not able to develop that kind of a prototype, it needs some kind of a technical expertise, it needs some kind of skill sets. So definitely I'll go for some right and like-minded people, that is what the co-founder, and then we can take a decision under which kind of legal entity I can register, and then how I can generate funding, maybe through a founder, through their equity shares, or maybe through shareholders, and then look for some kind of funding opportunities, right? So all those part also we are yet to discuss on those lines, but just now I'm talking about the process, the funding onwards. And then launching of that particular product and services, after getting some kind of initial seed grant or funding, we can launch, and then we can fill that kind of a gap, right, in the market on which basically we have registered as our startup. So if you are getting some kind of a good, feedback, good market initially, then definitely you can have your own business strategy in terms of increasing your customers, increasing your subscribers, right? So as per your product service category, target clientele group, we can go by that. And then definitely in our detailed project report only, we could have we must have forecast some kind of growth in near future, distant future. So how far we are going on that line? So it is just a matter of cross-checking and then having business strategies aligned with the trend in growth. So as per that, one can keep growing. So if it is, maybe unfortunately because of any reason, the customers and then sales, if it is not increasing, then we need to think about our launching strategy, or maybe could be about our product and services which we are offering to market, right? So that again, iterating process of that new product development, idea development, we need to work on, right? So all those, maybe business strategy, right? So that is Air Bed to Breakfast, right? That is online marketplace. Again, it's a company, American company. So that, so they have launched their own product services 3 times. So they have kind of, did a lot of iteration in terms of their offerings, in terms of their business strategy, in terms of their networking, licensing with different service provider, right? So it takes times. It's not like that key, in one go we get a success. So it's depend on idea to idea, depend on company to company, so how thorough they are in different phases of the product development, and then developing that kind of a value proposition. That's what the business canvas model, which we could discuss through those 9 different blocks. So how far you are thorough with all those blocks, that probably defines the success of any startup. So this is just a kind of a process. Now let's look deep into the prototype development, or nothing but a product development process. So the initial part of the product development, that's what we discuss in 2-3 slides, and then 2-3 lectures, and then validation part of it as well. That is idea generation and idea screening, right? So we discuss through one sector, and then some broader parameters based on which how we can generate idea. And then for validating, we could discuss one framework. Now then onwards, the actual kind of product development process starts. That is the concept development and testing. So which tells that can we identify a real concept which consumers they would prefer, they would kind of love to have your product and services, right? So from the consumer's point of view, from the target clientele point of view, we need to think through that how our product and service should be. Then for that, we need to do some kind of market and business strategy development, business analysis, right? And then further we can have actual product development, so that the development team can work on the products, and then it's actual testing of that particular product on selected customers, selected target clientele groups. If it is valid, if it is perfect, then we can go for commercialization of it, right? So that's what the process. Now let's look at one by one. So this is how the founders, co-founder, marketers, they generally go by these different phases as far as the product development process is concerned. So initially on idea generation and screening, nothing but idea evaluation point, I will not go much in detail, because already we had a discussion on that. So maybe from the employees, that's target customers point of view, competitors point of view, channel point of view, distribution channel point of view, right? I can develop some kind of a idea or the idea to develop a product. So the screening is, so nomenclature are different: idea screening, idea validation, idea evaluation, all those stuff, right? So the fundamental is how far that idea is profitable and then feasible in the given resources, and then it also tells us what kind of resources are also required. So in this phase particularly, there are three different types of risks which the founder and then entrepreneur then needs to pay more attention. So how far, the fundamentally these are new product is matches with the strategic goals of that particular firm for which we are basically planning to venture into, or maybe if it is existing, so how far it is aligning with my existing vision, mission, or existing product portfolio. So that I need to think through. Market risk, yes, of course, if you have identified that kind of a market gap in the product service delivery and then different services delivery, so in that space I can see how far my product is market fit, right? So the very famous example purposely I give, that Haldi Ka milk, because that situation demanded that kind of a product, right? So that's how the market fit is, of course, very much important aspect. And then internal risk, in terms of it is linked to the first only strategic risk. So internal risk, it could be whatever the resources, whatever technical knowledge we could have, so how far it is going to manage within the existing resources, so that the firm has to take a decision. If it is altogether a different kind of products, and then definitely it needs a different team and then all other resources as well. So this will cost huge, right? So rather than generally company or the startup guys or business houses, they generally go by the similar raw material and then just different value added products and services, right? Once they kind of saturate market, or once they explore a different kind of value added product and services from a similar kind of raw material, then probably they can venture into other product category. So that could be a possible, but yes, it takes time. So depend on the maturity of that particular startup and then company, they take that kind of a strategic call. Okay. Yeah, so this is the kind of very important since now onwards, that is the concept development testing. So here basically we give more emphasis on the consumer's point of view. So how far from the consumer's point of view the product idea is meaningful, right? So now let's take an example in terms of manufacturing any electric car. So these are the three different options which the concept development team, they could think through, and then they can analyze. Maybe electric car could be a kind of an inexpensive family car. Maybe it is a medium cost, a sporty car for young people, or it could be a inexpensive car for conscious people who look for a basic transportation, maybe age-old people, right? Or maybe a low middle income group people, those who prefer to have a low fuel cost, and then of course they are concerned about the pollution as well, so low pollution. So so as per the customers category, here you can see the family type, young people, then maybe the age old people, or maybe low income group wale people, right? So the product ka imagination, and then to pitch in and then positioning that product, as far as electric car is concerned, I may be having these three different options. So then
You are not audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Right. So, okay, yeah. So as per the product segment, as per the product, so I can, the product development team, right? So they can, think through a different option for whom, right? So that is the customer segmentation. So they have these kind of alternatives in their mind, and then they try all these alternatives so that they can come out with a perfect kind of product and services, right? So these options could be, these options vary with different, as per the nature of product, nature of services, and then customers category, right? Okay, so concept testing. So in concept testing, basically it involves target consumers before turning new ideas into actual new products, right? So here we present that kind of a concept, maybe symbolically or physically. So it depends, as I told you, as per the nature of commodity, nature of product, and then consumer category. And then we take a, kind of the opinion or feedback by different clientele group on that particular product, so that we can get that kind of a feedback or the perception of a consumers on our product. So now let's specifically take a look of what exactly we can ask to these different categories of customers in terms of how far it is addressing the consumer needs, or is there any a gap in the existing market where basically competitors are not able to provide that kind of a product and services, and then how far these our product and services kind of meeting that kind of a gap which is there in the market, and then how far the value in terms of satisfaction our commodity is, our product is adding, right? So what is that perceived value which the consumers they are giving in terms of while doing product testing. And if we launch that kind of a product, so whether customer will buy that product, so what is their purchase intent? So in that purchase intent form, or in that basically questionnaire form, I can also give some kind of alternative options of similar product category which are there in the maybe in the market by different competitors, and then I can give that kind of a comparative analysis of my product and then kind of USP, and then we can ask whether you can go for this kind of purchase of our product or not. So this is very a kind of the initial survey which these marketers, these product development team, they do on their existing customer base or maybe new customer base as well. So in that concept development process also, how that process takes place. So it is just kind of again a mind mapping of all those process involved in concept development, starting from the how far the new product and services is aligning with my own vision mission which I have conceptualized while venturing into this domain for a new startup, or maybe for existing startup, then definitely they must have their own philosophy, vision, mission. So how far it is adding to value, or how far it is working in tandem with that kind of their vision mission. So that I need to, check. And then within that broader vision and mission, how far it is meeting to begin with the customer needs. Then within that customer, I need to have that kind of a specification, right? Maybe a family car, maybe for young people. So all those accordingly, I can have a different variation as well, right? As per their choice, taste, preference. And then based on that, based on those feedback opinion, I can generate a product concept. Then select product concept, test product concept, set the final specification based on the iteration, and then based on the having a different discussion on different aspect of that product and services, and then I can come out with some kind of a final specification and then USP of that particular product and services, and then plan for launching that particular product. So while doing so, I may do some kind of economic analysis, and that's how I told you in the previous slide that how far it is meeting within the existing resources and then kind of competency which we are having as of now. If it is altogether different, so that's perfect, even though we need to do an economic analysis. But in the case of existing, the founder focus is more on how I can minimize that kind of risk, right? So that I can have a minimum price to begin with for that particular product, right? So that economic analysis, the focus is only a difference in terms of new and existing setup, but yes, it is kind of a mandatory thing. Competitiveness is further important aspect after economic analysis, because that is going to define the USP of your product and services, and then you can test that particular model and prototype. Now let's take a example of this electric scooter. So this is the kind of final version which they could develop after going through all those phases of product development. So probably they could have thought of first just a kind of the impression in their mind, okay, we can have such kind of this scooter, right? So I can pen down all those kind of, as I told you, idea, whatever comes to my mind. So here in this case of they could have draw that kind of a sketch, and based on that they have come out with some kind of imagery model in real sense. Then I can also think about its a usage, or maybe its a features. So whether it is compact storage, portable in transportation, reduced transit time. So what are the features of my product and services? So that kind of a storyboard I can think through, so that I can discuss, I can showcase while testing of that particular concept with my own kind of customers or new sets of customers, right? Target clientele group. And then based on that, then I can come out with some kind of workable prototype, right? Which is appealing also, and then which is kind of having some kind of feasibility with less cost, all those economic analysis point of view, right? So, okay. So after the initial concept testing, right? Then I can go further for the business and marketing analysis, right? So I can actually test that particular workable prototype, in the market. So there are different options for it, for doing this kind of analysis, right? So from the point of view of its design, its marketing, manufacturing, finance. So how much finance I may be required, right? So how much demand I can, estimate for such kind of a product. So that kind of the purchase intention in such kind of a product, I need to also, think through, so that I can estimate that kind of a probable revenue which I may be getting, right? So that I can show that kind of, at the end of analysis, how far my idea is economically viable, right? So based on the estimated revenue sources year-on-year basis, and then whatever the loan, the product cost is there, and then out of that our own contribution and then loan requirement, and then I can come out with some kind of ratios, right? So that in the detailed product report, business plan, we can go through further in detail, internal rate of return, benefit cost ratio, right? So these are the two key indicators to assess the economic viability of our product or our business plan. So I can do that. And then there is competitive advantage. So a different department then, do their own analysis. Maybe design department, they can, keeping in view their own brand, or maybe creating altogether new brand for their product and services. So they give more focus on the appearance of that particular product, let's say that scooter, right? So the respective department work as per their mandate. Then marketing department, so they build connection between company and then, target consumers. So they do that kind of a marketing research, right? So it could start basically from whether do consumers really need such kind of, scooter or not. If it is yes, then okay. So how they are perceiving such kind of a products. Can we come out with some kind of, a actual testing of that particular prototype, right? By giving that kind of a feel of riding such kind of a scooter, right? So in the case of even our car segment also, they do such kind of a testing, on-road testing, all those stuff. So for such kind of also product, they can do, and then they can take a feeling of the consumers. And then what could be the possible pricing of product? Yes, for pricing of product, there are, manufacturing costs, all those resources costs. So all those parameters, they do play a very much important role. But yes, from the market point of view, if such kind of existing product is there, so what are their offerings and what kind of their features? So that's also give some kind of signal for deciding our own price of product as well. Then manufacturing department, so they work on total, how much total production do we need to have, right? How they can source a raw material, availability of machinery, manpower availability. And then finally comes to the finance department, where basically based on the design department, marketing department, manufacturing department, then they can come out with some kind of production cost for such kind of a scooter, and then how they can generate funding, that is sources of fund, so they can basically work on that kind of stuff. So there are different options to it, right? Here you can see in the case of quality function deployment, so they can test from the customer's point of view, from engineering attributes point of view, right? So as per the product category, it may vary. So after doing this, then I can go for some kind actual testing based on that workable prototype. So the alpha testing is nothing but a functional testing, based on the specification of that particular product, right? Features of that particular product, and then beta testing from the customer's point of view, their own rating, maybe qualitative, quantitative rating. I can come up with some kind of a criteria to seek the opinion or the feedback of the customers. So there are different methods, just rank order method, paired comparison method. So one can go follow any crude method like this rank order and then preference method, just to get a feel of the customer's view on that kind of prototype. So this is the customer's product. This is kind of a functional thing, functional testing, where basically I can discuss about the features of this product and then how it is convenient. So all those stuff I can discuss and then take a feedback. And then finally, this based on the cumulatively based on all these inputs through these different phases, I can then come out with the final kind of product in terms of its look, in terms of its features, and then price, which is competitive in given market, right? So that's what the different phases of our this new product development. So just from the theory point of view, and then definitely through maybe through any case study, we can discuss in detail further this process. So the broadly, while discussing through those different phases, I could also highlight the key point where basically we need to give more focus on. But just to again reiterate, and which is the important factor if we want to successfully launch our product. So the factors like competitors analysis is the important, because that is a key aspect based on which I may be having some kind of idea to fulfill the gap in the existing market or existing product portfolio, service portfolio, right? So that could be an initial starting point. So how far I'm thorough with that competitor analysis in all sense, right? Particularly in terms of their product prices and then features as well. And then these are the other parameters, that is where we are pitching this product. It is positioning of the product, timing when we are launching. Probably these Haldi milk, without this COVID, if we could have launched, then probably it would have not got that kind of a success which is there in the present scenario, right? So the timing also matters very much, in terms of launching any new product and services, of course. And then quality, price, that these are the a bit obvious kind of factors which govern the success of any new product. But yes, positioning and timing do matters. So like the Uber, Ola, so they are the Uber, the first one, and then kind of a biggest company. But within that same segment, then we are now having these localized kind of application, where whether it is BlaBla or whether it is S-Ride, so which gives a more kind of options for local commuters, right, within any particular city, right, or maybe from city to city, like BlaBla applications. So they offer that kind of a services. So I need to have that kind of a USP within that existing so-called well-established brand. So that positioning is very much important, right? Because already Ola, Uber is there in the city places, right? And then there is a kind of a problem, not problem to that extent, but rental option, they are there in the Ola, Uber. But that aspect, this BlaBla could have developed that, and then they have started inter-city or inter-district kind of transportation, right? And similarly, this S-RIDE is also one application is there. So it is localized, limited to any particular area, right? Or any particular within any city, right? So that kind of a positioning is matters. So that we need to, identify such kind of a gap, and then only we can position our product and services. Failure of promise benefit, yes. So here, your customer analysis and then your product testing is very much important, because that only will give you the real picture whether whatever you are claiming as a product and services, so how it is actually meeting the requirement and then giving that kind of a benefit or ultimately satisfaction to the customers. So that if it is failure, then of course leads to death of that particular prototype. Too little marketing support, then faulty estimate market potential and demand. So generally in business plan DPR, we project our calculation based on estimate, but how far you are estimating based on the realistic picture, so that is very important, because many times it happens that we with that maybe a spirit, maybe with that kind of a flow, with that kind of a zeal, motivation, we could imagine that yes, our product services is unique and it will crack the market. But many times it happens, the most of these brands also they get failed, right? You see, that Air Nipka, that example, it's online marketplace. So they also could have, they also have 3 times iteration or 3 times again their product and services offering team they worked on after launching of that product and services. So that means what? It is continuously evolving process. So I need to do that kind of R&D continuously, so that I can estimate based on the actual demand and supply gap, and then I can estimate actually my financials, so that I can come out with some kind of a strong business strategy. Yes, distribution channel is also one of the key aspect in our business canvas model, and then is this new product development, right? Whether it is B2B, B2C. So I need to think through that. So technology has now in the marketing, because that kind of a paradigm shift has been taken place. Other day we have discussed the example of print media vis-a-vis electronic media, right? So that kind of stuff I also need to work on. So for those different distribution channel, so how far that these different distribution channels are cost efficient, and then how much sales they are giving, right? So I need to have continuously that kind of MIS, that kind of a monitoring in terms of output by those different distribution channels. Unexpected change in the economy after introduction, right? So what is this? So this may be the schemes, policies, right? Because I think in initial our discussion only I could discuss the different value chain actors. So all these, entrepreneurship and in business houses governed under a broader, government regulation, laws, schemes, program, right? Rules, regulations. In the case of agriculture space, I discussed those 3 acts, not in detail, but just introduce, and then discuss its meaning and then its implications. So that change ecosystem. So we need to have eye on those schemes and programs as well. Let's take an example, very you people also have witnessed, that is monetization, right? So the businesses which are there on these a digital transaction, right? What Google Pay, Phone Pay, all those pay. So they got that kind of a fillip during this period, and then that's how a kind of paradigm shift could happen because of that monetization as well. So this unexpected change could act both ways, positively, negatively, right? So it's depend on the kind of act, it's depend on that kind of a change. But yes, startup and entrepreneur is one who basically identify opportunity within that, whatever it may be. Right? So the COVID ka best example is there. So a lot of people, they have ventured into this entrepreneurship domain, this startup business because of this COVID. Many business houses earlier they were dealing in B2B segment, but now most of them they have now started dealing in business to customer, directly customers, because that kind of opportunity they could see here during this pandemic period, right? The lack of managerial synergy. So this is the kind of on our business houses point of view. It's an internal affair, maybe different departmental synergy, that's the design department, production department, marketing department, all those, your governance, right, your team. And that is where basically the leadership, the founder, co-founder, and then management staff, their leadership do matters in terms of success of any startup, right? That also, I think in some other day we have already discussed that thing. So these are the broader aspect, starting from the founder, co-founder, the management staff, their leadership point of view, to ultimately the consumer's point of view, and then in between, of course, a lot of aspects. So from all these point of view, we need to analyze our product, which we have discussed through these different product development phases in the form of its process, right? So that's what I thought to discuss today for this and once it is approved in all sense, and then with, of course, getting funding for that, then we can commercialize product. Nothing but we can implement our prototype by launching that particular product in the market, and then we can go for the production and then its commercial use as well. And then we can also go for the IP protection as well, which I think last to last lecture I could just initiated that thing, but maybe we can cover that topic at the maybe end of this subject. That is because it's also an important aspect as far as startup is concerned, because startup, they come out with some kind of different innovative product and services. So we need to also have command over all those IP protection, and then we need to immediately, while working on this new product development, we need to also work on all those applications, prototype protection application point of view also we need to work on, so that we can protect the IP, right? So what are those different options we can maybe discuss in our subsequent classes, right? So with this, I'll stop here today. If you have anything related to the present topic, you can ask. But yes, this is the kind of more of on the phases I could discuss, conceptually, and then through any case study, I'll give you that kind of a practical overview, how any particular startup or particular any company, they have come out with some kind of different product, and then how process, what are the process which they have followed, right? So that there is one very good, again, case, right? It's again IMCA case. So I request you, please go through that actually, and then now we have now this weekend, so I'll share, maybe tomorrow I'll share that case. So I'm expecting that, please go through. It's very good, again, very good case, right? So that we can discuss on our upcoming Tuesday class, right? So whatever the aspects so far conceptually which we have discussed, so all those aspects which are there in that case, including this new product development as well, right? So that's all from my side. If you have any concern, please let me know.
Yes, sir. We'll go through with the case of IIM.
Yeah, please. And then, again, the Outbridge case, please, you go through that. If you have any doubt, so you can, raise those doubts in next class, right? So that is also very good case, right? Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.